Before the attack, Japan had spent years preparing. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the head of the Japanese Navy, understood that a conflict with the United States was inevitable if Japan wanted to continue expanding its influence in Asia and the Pacific. Yamamoto planned a preemptive strike to cripple the U.S. Pacific Fleet, thereby creating favorable conditions for Japan to seize strategic territories in Southeast Asia without having to worry about U.S. intervention. The attack plan, called Operation Z, was outlined in great detail. 6 Japanese aircraft carriers would carry more than 400 fighters and bombers to attack the battleships, warships, and air bases at Pearl Harbor. The main goal was to destroy the U.S. battleships because they were considered symbols of naval power and the center of the Pacific Fleet. 1.2. Secret preparations and the journey to Hawaii. To maintain the element of surprise, Japan kept its attack plans in absolute secrecy. The aircraft carriers and escorts left their bases in the northern waters of Japan and made the 3,700-kilometer journey to Hawaii without leaving a trace. The pilots were carefully trained to attack in the special conditions of Pearl Harbor, where the water depth was only about 12 meters, making the use of traditional torpedoes difficult. On November 26, 1941, the Japanese fleet commanded by Vice Admiral Chuchi Nagumo departed Hitokapa Bay, Kurile Islands. The 10-day journey through the Pacific Ocean was carried out in absolute secrecy. To maintain the element of surprise, all radio communications were banned, and the aircraft carriers operated in complete silence, away from all normal shipping lanes. 2. The attack. 2.1. The fateful moment, the morning of December 7th. On the morning of December 7th, 1941, everything at Pearl Harbor seemed to be going on as normal as any other day. The American sailors were preparing for a peaceful weekend, unaware that they were about to face a terrifying attack. 2.1.1. 6 a.m. Japanese aircraft carriers in position. By 6 a.m., the Japanese aircraft carriers had reached a position about 230 miles north of Pearl Harbor. The pilots and planes were ready for the attack. Admiral Nagumo ordered the first wave of 183 planes, including fighters, dive bombers, and torpedo bombers, to launch. 2.1.2. 7:02 a.m. First warning. At 7:02 a.m., the U.S. Opana radar station on the island of Oahu detected a large group of aircraft approaching from the north. The radar operator immediately reported to the command center, but due to lack of experience and believing that this was just a squadron of U.S. B-17 bombers returning from the mainland, the warning was not given. 2.1.3. 7:40 a.m. Japanese aircraft approach. At about 7:40 a.m., the Japanese aircraft approached Pearl Harbor without any resistance. At this time, the Americans were still completely unaware of the presence of the Japanese attack force. 2.2. The opening attack. 2.2.1. 7:48 a.m. The first attack wave begins. At exactly 7:48 a.m., the first wave of attack began. Japanese dive bombers and torpedo bombers simultaneously attacked the battleships anchored on Battleship Row. Deafening explosions began as torpedoes and bombs exploded on the ships. 2.2.2. USS Arizona, fateful tragedy. One of the most fateful images of the attack was the destruction of the battleship USS Arizona. This ship was hit by a 800 kilograms bomb that penetrated the deck and exploded in the ammunition magazine. The terrible explosion broke the ship in two and sank immediately, killing more than 1,100 sailors. The image of the USS Arizona burning fiercely became a symbol of the tragedy at Pearl Harbor. 2.2.3. USS Oklahoma, a silent death. Not far away, the battleship USS Oklahoma was hit by multiple torpedoes, causing the ship to capsize in just a few minutes. More than 400 sailors were trapped inside the ship and died without a chance to escape. 2.2.4. Attack on air bases. At the same time as attacking the battleships, Japanese planes also simultaneously attacked U.S. air bases on Oahu. A series of U.S. planes were destroyed on the ground at Hickam Field, Wheeler Field, and Kaneohe Bay. The U.S. Air Force was almost completely neutralized from the first minutes of the attack. 2.3. Second wave of attack. 2.3.1. 8:40 a.m. Second wave of attack. About an hour after the first wave of attack, the second wave of attack, consisting of 170 planes, continued to bomb Pearl Harbor. Thank you for watching the whole video. If you find it interesting, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel.